Good evening, everyone. I hope everyone's doing well. God, there is definitely something I need to get off my chest right now. Who said it's the two planets you're carrying? Shut up, you. No, there is something I want to get off of my chest right now, and it is to do with Sky News. So it seems that they were taken over at some point by Comcast, or is it Concast? But what I find particularly funny is there's now projected losses of around 70 to 80 million pounds. And all this, of course, alongside Kay Burley's departure. I mean, to be fair, can we really be surprised with Sky News, considering how much they've been going downhill as of late? I mean, the way I look at it, I think 2025, at the rate we're going, is looking like the death of mainstream media. The literal year that the mainstream media dies. Now, wouldn't that be something? I mean, that's the thing. When you constantly go out of your way as a media broadcaster, continually slander those people you're supposed to be serving impartial, unbiased news to, and your media organisations pride themselves on activism rather than journalism, you know you've lost your way. What we are seeing more and more as time goes on over these last few years is people are tuning out from the mainstream media, as some of these people are cottoning on that it's not going to be the best place to get truthful, impartial, unbiased news. Why do you think people like Martuzzi or Dan Wootton are on the rise? I can tell you right now, it certainly ain't the self-raising flour. Anyway, the fact is, loads more people are tuning in to alternative media sources because they can trust them to at least give them the main bit of news and do it in a mostly integral way. Because even right-wing media outlets do tend to get it wrong every now and again. The polar opposite of the even a broken clock is right twice a day kind of scenario. At the end of the day, Sky News, the BBC, the reason they're losing so much money is because people are waking up. People are realising that they're not telling the truth. Or at least they're becoming more activists than journalists. And as far as Kay Burley is concerned, I hope she let the door hit her on the way out. And then we come to Keir the traitor Starmer. Yeah, you know, I have to mention this because what did Keir the traitor Starmer do on the back of the national strikes that were going on around the country? Well, he tried to blame those 3 Ukrainian rent boy issues on Putin, because that is the name of the game with Keir the traitor Starmer. Deflection. I mean, that's the thing with Starmer. He has about as much integrity as a burning straw house and all the substance of a destroyed watermelon. I think the one thing Keir the traitor Starmer doesn't understand is that he has managed to somehow unite the left and the right into the centre to universally hate him. I mean, a lot of what Keir the traitor Starmer says has as much as stroke number 1, as much authenticity as the story about the Jabberwocky. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I'm still not getting any healthier. I think that's actually my 250th stroke during this whole year. And frankly, I should be thankful it's not higher than that, considering I had 96 in the first month. But enough about that. Keir the traitor Starmer is effectively a man that everything he says towards us is basically going in one ear and out the other, because he has no believability. He has no believability, no credibility, and no empathy whatsoever for the ordinary people of the United Kingdom. I've already mentioned what he did in the past as far as Southport is concerned, how he had that little wreath for those 3 butchered girls, God that rest their souls, Bebe King, Alice de Silva Aguilar and Elsie Dot, how he came in like the Tin Man, no emotion, laid the wreath, got back in his car and went straight back to Westminster to have a party. The same Keir the traitor Starmer that when the now long gone Queen had her husband die, what was Keir the traitor Starmer doing? Having a party. But of course the mainstream media won't tell you this. You know the drill, folks, because say it with me. It doesn't suit the narrative. But here he is, trying to lie through his teeth again and try to tell us that this Roman guy and two other Ukrainians who effectively have been going out of their way to target the Prime Minister, he wants to blame those actions rather than on the Ukrainian Prime Minister or President or whatever you want to call him. He'd rather blame it on Putin. I mean, there's two things wrong with that. One is the fact that it was actually showcased that one of these guys, the guy who put a fire boom through this Prime Minister's house, actually came out he was Ukrainian. And number two, while I accept that Putin hasn't exactly been amicable, shall we say, towards the United Kingdom, I'm pretty sure if he wanted to attack the United Kingdom, I think he would have done a little bit more than put a fire boom through someone's house or their car. I think we all know how dangerous Putin can be. He has his finger over that button, and I'm pretty sure if he wanted the UK gone, he would bloody well try it with a nuke, and he would press that button, just like that. So to say that, oh, this is Putin's doing, is at best questionable, and at worst downright stupidity, quite frankly. But what can you expect from Keir the traitor Starmer? A man who has no honesty, no principles, no empathy, and no credibility. A man who is hated by both sides of the country. Like, I swear to God, there may eventually get to a point where even the lefty NPCs will come together with us patriot people, come together, even if just for a ceasefire with one another, and form an alliance, effectively, against Keir the traitor Starmer until he's eventually removed from power. Because he has hit a chord with both sides, not just one. It's not like, oh, all the lefties love him and all that. No, he has pissed off quite a few leftoids as well, who, while I don't really want to give them the time of day, I can understand why they're a little bit miffed off with our Prime Minister, who is Prime Minister in name only, to be brutally honest. The bottom line, as far as Starmer is concerned, is with each passing day, he is uniting more and more and more of the country, all right? He is uniting the country. He's uniting them against him. It won't be long before he has to call a snap election. Think about it. Why would anyone want a man in power who has alienated both sides? Why would anyone want someone like Keir the traitor Starmer to continue running as Prime Minister when the only thing he's running is this country into the ground? He has no purpose whatsoever in being our Prime Minister anymore. I know people will say, oh, but he was democratically elected by loads of NPCs who are fast asleep, quite frankly. And even some of them are starting to regret what they've done. I would have rather have had the bloody liberal Democrats, or maybe I was right first time, in power, rather than this Labour government. This Labour government who has been good for nothing except tearing this country apart. At the end of the day, you have the right to choose who you want to vote for. You have the right to choose who you want running the country. But if all of the warning signs are sitting there right in front of you, which says, don't vote this man, or this man will destroy the country, you can't then turn around and say, oh, it's your fault, you did this. Because you would have been the ones that voted him in. Likewise, reform are not the answer either. I would not trust Nigel El-Faraji to run a bus. Well, actually, he ran on a bus, I think, at one point. But no, I wouldn't trust him to run a bath, let alone the country. The way he flip-flops with his policies of saying, we won't mass deport, that's not in our interests, and we want to bow down to the religion of peace. And then all of a sudden, he's like, I want to get rid of Zia Yusuf. I want to do mass deportations, which he only did right at the last moment at the local elections. And if he hadn't have done that, his votes would have evaporated. Just like that. That's the cold, bitter truth that a lot of people won't want to accept. But we need a proper party in power. And for God's sake, the woman in the administration team of UKIP, I better get that fucking card now. Because this is now card number 3 that you've sent out, apparently. And I'm hoping to God it actually reaches me this time. Because after all, we need good men and women who are willing to serve as true MPs, as true politicians who are actually worthy of the public's respect. Because evil only wins when good men and women sit around and do nothing.